Hello and welcome to your Friday edition of Loose Mandem. I hope you all are looking forward to this 40-minute bumper ride of a show, as there is quite a bit to get through. So, coming up on today's show, we will be discussing latest and past news such as Elon Musk and the death of Gabby Petito. We also have another new dilemma for us lot to solve, which is a juicy one. So, you lot, make sure you lot are home. Do not go anywhere for that segment. As well as all of that, towards the end of the show, we will be playing another new game of Loose Mandem Does Guess the Celebrity. Well, make sure you get all your snacks at the ready because that is today's Loose Mandem. But first, Elon Musk has unveiled a humanoid robot called the Tesla bot. This runs on the same AI that Tesla vehicles uses. The unexpected reveal came at the end of Tesla's AI Day presentation. The 5'8" robot is expected to weigh in at 125 pounds. That's 125 pounds and be built from lightweight materials, says Tesla CEO. Internally, it will be operating via Tesla's full self-driving computer. It's intended to navigate through a world built for humans. Of course, this has raised concerns over the product as a matter of our well-being may be in danger. This raises the question, is the Tesla bot our new future?
Josh, what do you think of this?
Well, based on your description of it, as I've not done that much into it, research into it, right? I'm going to ask, the main point is, what is the point? What they are building is a 5'8" human, right? That humanoid robot. Let's just say 5'8" human, and they are powering it with driving AI. So all it can do is navigate.
Yeah. Well, at this point, it's not a surprise because like it is Elon Musk and he's
what do you call? I genuinely think Elon Musk is quite a nice bloke.
He's a nice bloke, but also
however,
it's kind of crazy.
I think it has got to the point where he's trying to do two things. One, is become Iron Man. I mean, Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr. based Iron Man off of him, so yeah, he's becoming Iron Man. And two, I just think he's trying to like, what do you call it? I think he's trying to show off like technological advancements, but I don't think he's going about it the right way. Because in terms of robots, you've got Boston Dynamics, who just so much. If they help out with, if they like did it in assistance with them, I genuinely could think it'd be good. But otherwise, I think it's just a bit of a what's the word I'm looking for? Stunt.
I mean, Terrell, do you think this in the future then would be like a really good selling product?
None of you ever watch iRobot and see what I've done in this situation. Right. It is. I think it'd be cool. Like, you know, if they actually did more, and maybe you could send it to go shopping and then come back with, you can put your list and then come back with the items and stuff, or things like that. Right? It'd be cool, it could be useful. People with disabilities, if they could be used to that, like, degree. If people have disabilities and struggle to get about, you can use that to go do daily tasks or source support. If you need something from the kitchen, go get it. You know what I mean? But I just said right now, I just don't see why, because it's not, what we've been told is it's not being used for anything it's not that necessary. That we have sat-navs, we have Google Maps, we have our phones, it's not really useful. I mean, it's just there to intimidate certain men, you know what I mean? 5'8", you know what I mean?
It's taller than a lot of people, isn't it?
You're referring to anyone's respect.
Yeah, guys, so just a running joke Solomon has.
We respect our short kings, man. We respect our short kings.
I've only beaten it by like an inch and a half. So.
I've only beaten it by 2.
I'm ready for
I'm beating it by like 4. I'm banging it, yeah. I'm looking.
But here's a question, right, let's go to Oliver. Do you think though, let's say it was to go out, so you get the robot, nice Franken, it was nice. But then we send it out to go to the shop, right, to get your stuff, right? What if it gets wrong?
I'm sorry, there is no way, where I live in Bradford, there is no way you could have a Tesla robot walking around the street and not expect someone to like kneecap it or something.
But if you set, like, imagine if they had like a defensive mode. Do you know what I mean? If they had a defensive mode.
So all of a sudden, I don't know, it's being touched by little old Mrs. Miggins, and then all of a sudden it becomes a Bruce Lee. And she gets it in the
Yeah,
face.
but you came too close, man.
But adding on to that though, right? If that, I mean,
Imagine one lady came.
Poor little old Mrs. Miggins.
to be fair though, right? Building on that, let's say that was the case, right? And it had this feature that could defend itself from like people like that, right? Trying to threaten it. Do you think that's quite dangerous to come out like that? Could you like try and like, let's say it malfunctions and then it attacks you instead of?
Of course, because you just see some robot. Because you just see some robot just try to punch you and move you, and you know that can be dangerous sometimes. But oh god.
So typically, right, even if that did have like the mechanism in it, right, that had that defense kind of mechanism in it. Let's say that malfunctions, that could potentially be quite dangerous to like one person who owns it, because that could be like, all right, you know, you're there, and let's say maybe it's carrying your shopping whilst you're walking with it, and someone attacks you, and then it probably malfunctions. It might attack you instead. You know what I mean? So what about that?
Yeah, that's a good point. So because this robot is 5'8" so it's a tall robot, and you know, short people like me, yes I said like me, it can beat you up, and it can beat up the taller people.
But you said it's 25 pounds.
Not 25 pounds.
No, not literally 25 pounds as in money wise. I mean, as in like.
No, I mean like 25. That's not heavy.
It weighs 125
pounds.
pounds.
Yeah.
Certain man are getting rocked.
It can deadlift 150 pounds. It's got a carrying capacity of 45 pounds. It can move at 5 miles an hour, and I don't know what arm extend lift what it is, but it can do that at 10 pounds.
Yeah, so like Josh said, it weighs 125 pounds and be built from lightweight materials. So, as he said, it could be dangerous. Yeah, but humans may have more force when they robot, and they can, do it, punch it back or kick it down or something like that. But say that again.
You hit metal, right. Humans are
No, but they could drive, run over it, or they can get some of it. But my issue is
£25 is 57 kg.
That's not far from me.
A strong person could pick up 57 kg.
It's not about that. It's like, you remember, let's say an old woman gets it. That's 57. That's still a lot more than probably what she weighs. And if
little old Mrs. Miggins.
But you know what? This is from Van Badham. She says, the commercial application of the planned robot is absolutely to replace human jobs, the ones that Musk himself finds boring, like ones working in factories and supermarkets. And I think, these robots could replace supermarket people, taxi drivers, delivery drivers. So what's going to happen there if we invest more in these robots? I have no problem in investing in robots, but is it going to go too far?
But that's the thing.
Is there going to see the decline in employment and stuff like that? Because we've seen the Amazon Fresh store in London that supermarket people are there. It's just you go in, scan your items, pick it up and go. Are we becoming that kind of
with that?
Or that kind of society that we have?
The thing is that, because they have been talking about doing that for a very long time now. Yeah. I mean, this is just another form of it. So, for instance, a lot of manual labour jobs, they'll have certain robots and certain machines that can, they'll pay for that, and they'll probably do the job faster. They'll have few actual human workers there to keep monitoring and stuff like that.
Like regular jobs, like gas and stuff. I'm not saying I'm not one of these conspiracy theories, but like obviously this torture, but was it 2025 I read that they're getting rid of like the use of gas and stuff. So that's already some people that lost their job. Do you know what I mean? And then if they can do that, like electricians, if you can get a robot to do it, you don't need electricians. You don't need to pay electricians. You don't need to pay plumbers. Because
we've seen in China that they've got robot hotel receptionist. So that's what I'm saying. Yes, it is a good idea, but it takes at the same time, if we get more of them, you're taking away people's jobs, and some people don't want to train in another sector. They want to be, because you've got skilled people, and they've been, if they, like, say example, a taxi driver's been in that job for 20 years, yeah, you can see that. And then it gets replaced by a robot, or companies said, we're going to use more robots or more self-driving cars. What are they going to do? Obviously, yeah, they can find if they can find somewhere else, if they're going to invest it that much. But I don't want it to become like we were relying on robots, and we can't rely on people, because it says here as well, its head will be kitted out with the autopilot cameras used by Tesla's vehicles to sense the environment, and will contain a screen to display information. Internally, it will operating via Tesla's full self-driving computer, and that's from CNET. And it also says here, you could both outrun the Tesla bot and overpower it. So that as well. So that's very interesting.
The DLC is 250 kg.
If you think about it though, right, I also think, right, I'm not joking at this point yet. Tesla already have a front-facing camera in their cars, with the idea that when they're allowed to do self-driving cars on the road, they can then hook up the front-facing cameras and do like a Tesla taxi service, where you order it on your phone and adjust the car turns up, right? And that's for like safety purposes. So like, if you think about it, they're trying to get rid of taxi drivers with the cars. Probably going to try and get rid of deliveries and drivers with cars with Tesla as well. It's getting to the point where it feels like, instead of like, I don't know, when it used to be like Microsoft and Google coming along going, oh, let's take over, I don't know, the supermarkets. Now it's Tesla going, you know what, that's too easy.
See, too easy. Even there, but even
I've just got a job in this sector.
But even this is what I mean though, like, with the rise of technology, you have more and more people. We have now become a lot more lazy. We've become kind of accustomed to this like sedentary lifestyle. So now, TVs, you know what I mean, like, with that, cars itself, etc. It keeps growing, and it ultimately gets to the point where a lot more people are getting more obese, etc.
This is not specifically about the Tesla one, but it's about. I was reading, like, how we get in this Tesla robot. There's a lot of other companies that are trying to build, like, robots and stuff to like do daily tasks. And there was one of them about, being like partners for humans, right? Like realistic partners for humans. And then there was an argument saying that, like, if you have a robot partner, the human population will stop, because obviously most people, it'd be a lot easier for people to just get with a robot that's realistic, that's like a human, instead of actually going with a real human. And then there was arguing about like, is that ethical to put it out and like use it, or should we just like not do it at all? And I feel like it all links in, like, right now, do we need it? Do you know what I mean? I don't think, like bring out robots. I don't think you should bring them out to get rid of like everyday people's jobs. I don't think that's the best. Like, maybe like dangerous jobs. Do you know what I mean? Fair enough, but like, why bring out that technology just to put other people in unemployment? I'm sure you want to make things push forward. You know what I mean? Do it for stuff that's necessary, not to fix your sink. You know what I mean? Or to go get shopping. That's
the Tesla robot though, it's being made to do what you call repetitive mundane tasks that Tesla have basically assumed humans don't want to do. So like, I don't know, scanning stuff at a supermarket, quite a mundane task. I can't think of the big ones. But like stuff like that, right? They want to replace it with this robot. Makes sense, I'm not gonna lie, makes sense. But at the same time, I know what you're trying to say is like, why do we actually need that? But I feel like part of the reason why basically every single robot that they bring out is always trying to direct it at that is because they're just not there yet to do complex tasks.
Yeah, because going off of Josh Brown, what it says here, one particular slide said the Tesla bot would eliminate dangerous, repetitive, boring tasks. I must provide an example suggestion the robot could be told to go to the store and get the following groceries, Not that such a task is particularly dangerous, but you might find it repetitive and boring. But also, Elon Musk said in the past, he reeled against the use of robots as weapons and warned of the risk AI might pose, once calling it the biggest risk we face as civilization. So I wonder what's changed now, or if he thought this, like so what someone said, there's a lot of money in technology now, let's build a robot that people are.
And exactly, and that's the thing, that's the final point. It's this kind of things, you know, as we develop, as well, some may say evolve, but really it's evolve. But it's, as human beings, we do kind of get a little bit more reliant on certain things, especially technology nowadays, compared to how it was maybe 30, 40 years ago. And things like this, the mindset before might have been, we don't really need that. But now, it's, you know, so even now, you know, with this, we just have to wait and see how it takes shape. Because it may be a product that might get scrapped in the future, or it might just take a long time to do it, but eventually we'll see how it turns out. But thank you guys for sharing that.
Well, there you have it. That is what we think for that discussion. But please do stay tuned, because after the break we will be discussing the shocking death of Gabby Petito, solving our new dilemma, and we'll be playing a game of Loose Mandem does Guess the Celebrity. And welcome back. Still to come, we have another new dilemma to discuss, and that will be in about 8 minutes or so. Moreover, the panelists will be playing another new game of Loose Mandem does Guess the Celebrity. We will see who has won in about 15 minutes or so. Moving on to some distressing news now. The body of Gabby Petito has been found in Wyoming National Park. Her body was found on the 19th of September and located near an undeveloped camping area in remote northern Wyoming along the border of Grand Teton National Park. After the 22-year-old disappeared months after the set out on a cross-country road trip with her boyfriend Brian Laundrie, the young couple had set out in July in a converted van to visit National Park in the West. They got into a fight along the way, and Laundrie was alone when he returned in the van to his parents' home September 1st, police said. Laundrie has been named a person of interest in the case, so we are the Loose Mandem, and these are our thoughts.
What do you think of this?
Yeah, this story haven't heard this Gabby Petito before, but obviously when someone told me, I did do a bit of research, and yeah, it is sad that she has died, and it is a shocking thing that she died in this day and age, because as we know the death of Sarah Everard over here, and recently of Sabrina Nesbitt on Nazir primary school teacher who was in London. But for viewers who don't know who Gabby Petito is, so she was an inspiring influencer who set off on a cross-United States journey in a van with Mr. Laundrie on the 23rd of July. She posted on Instagram about how they enjoyed to hike barefoot together, and shared a video on YouTube in August documenting the beginning of their journey. They had been documenting their trip on social media, but Miss Petito has not posted anything since the 26th of August, and obviously we've now found out that just as they died. So when did she go missing? So Mr. Laundrie returned home to Florida in their white Ford van on the 1st of September without Miss Petito. Her family reported her missing 10 days later on the 11th of September. The couple were visiting the Grand Teton National Park in Wyoming when she disappeared, as Solomon just said. Mr. Laundrie refused to speak to the police or the media, then disappeared himself a few days after returning. Police initially declared him a person of interest in the case, but he has not been charged with any crime. Mr. Petito's father posted a photo of his daughter on Twitter shortly after the FBI news conference, saying she touched the world, and that was an article from the I newspaper, and that was in September 20th. So I just wanted to give you a little insight about Gabby Petito, because I didn't know who she was.
Yeah. But
it is a shocking thing that so many women are dying in the hands
it's
of
not.
all this.
It's not.
That road.
To be fair, it's not, because it's been happening a lot recently as well. But I mean, for a very long time it's happening. It just hasn't been documented quite a lot. Even if it has, it's been quite a big number of cases. You know what I mean? But the fact that, I mean, I believe it's been classified right now, anyways, as a homicide.
Yeah.
We don't really know specifically when, how she died, but it's been classified as a homicide. But Terrell, it's unfortunate though, isn't it? It's quite unfortunate, but it's not uncommon. Do you think that? Or?
Well, it is unfortunate, obviously. Definitely the death is sad. It's not uncommon for people in relationships to. I mean, we don't know if he did it. I don't know what it's a bit suspicious how he came back without her.
And then disappeared, and then
I'm sure it showed more distress, but so I mean, you can make a valid point that he didn't do it, but people fight in relationships and take things to the extreme. It's not unheard of. It is quite not quite common, but it does happen. You know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those things. Like it's hard to deal with, because like the people themselves, they don't. Sometimes you don't expect it. You don't expect your partner to go out, but sometimes some people like their partner being toxic and abusive, and they come back and they're attached, and then bad things happen because, you know what I mean? And it's just one of those things that's like, you gotta really know who's around you, man. You gotta really look at people's small traits and characteristics around you. I guarantee that guy, let's say if he did do it and he had an argument, now bang, then he killed him. I guarantee you could spend a couple of days with this guy, or a day with this guy, and put him in different situations, get angry, like whatnot, and see his little, reactions to certain situations, and you can tell what type of person he is.
Oh yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? Like, only a certain type of person can get angry and kill again. But then again, you got to look at like, what were they arguing about? If he's told the police, what was they arguing about? Because you don't just, unless you're absolutely psychotic, you don't just kill the person you love for no reason.
See, they did run into the police, and there's body cam footage that's available out there, by the way.
Yeah.
But apparently they got into a little altercation, went into a little fight, and apparently she was explaining they had a little fight, it's a little personal thing. But she says that she has obsessive control disorder, something like that, OCD. Compulsive disorder, sorry. And I believe Brian appeared with scratches on his face, but he didn't want to press charges against domestic violence. So
it went both ways. It's something like they both were hitting each other.
Yeah. So you could, I guess, Josh, you could kind of say it in some sense it was kind of becoming toxic. That well, I mean, as you know, it's led to this, but it's there were definitely signs beforehand. In fact, to add on that, they even separated as well. Like they separated them both. So he went with the police. I believe he went back home, and then she carried on in the trip in the van, I believe.
I mean, what do you call it? At that point, like let's say when that happens, both of their parents find out, yeah, or like their friends find out. I don't see why one of them wouldn't just like like bring it up, like try and intervene. Like I feel like obviously she's dead and that's very sad, but there will have been signs that like it was going to go down this road at some point. Like there is it's very rare that like a boyfriend will kill his girlfriend with no signs beforehand. So I feel like there will have been signs there. And it's like red flags there. Yeah. But like obviously if no one's really like people, and some people will have acknowledged them, I'm sure, who are like her friends and whatever. But if they don't, like it's more the fact that they should have done something about it.
Yeah.
And I am going to assume, I'm not saying that he did it, but I feel like it's quite well, allegedly he did it. And I'm going to go and say that I think he did do it. Because there is no chance, right, that he lost her, where was it, in Wyoming?
Yeah.
Right. She's dead in Wyoming, he's come back to California. Where is it?
Not necessarily actually, but he's went back home to his parents.
Where's he gone? Do you know where his home was?
It might be.
I think it was California, Florida.
Florida,
Florida, yeah.
Florida, yeah. So he's gone back to Florida, right? There is no chance that on the way back, he like obviously he must have noticed that she was missing. Why don't you call the police then? Why do you go back home to a different state? It's like there's lots of things that maybe discredit him in this situation.
So I just would like to read this report if I can. So it says here as well, for viewers at home as well, so you can understand more. Investigators searched for 24,000-acre reserve over the weekend without success. Authorities are using helicopters, drones, dogs and officers in all-terrain vehicles in their search for laundry. About 75% of the search is underwater, and this was from The Guardian on the 22nd of September. Petito and Laundry were childhood sweethearts who met while growing up on New York's Long Island. His parents later moved to North Park, just south of Sarasota. In an interview broadcast Monday on TV's Dr. Phil Shaw, Josie Petito said Laundry and his daughter had dated for 2.5 years, and Laundry was always respectful. During the interview, which was recorded before his daughter's body was found, Petito said that the couple had taken a previous road trip to California in her car and there were no problems. Josie Petito said the family began worrying after several days without hearing from their daughter. We called Brian, we called the mom, we called the dad, we called the sister, we called every number that we could find, Josie Petito said. No phone calls were picked up, no text messages were returned. Josie Petito said he wants Laundry to be held accountable for whatever part he played in his daughter's disappearance, along with his family, for protecting him. Witnesses last saw Petito on the 24th of August as she left a hotel in Salt Lake City. She posted her final photo on social media the next day. Her family believes she was headed to the Grand Teton National Park in Miami when they last heard from her. A body was discovered on the edge of the park in a remote area less than 1,000 feet from where a pair of travel bloggers filmed the white van parked on a dirt road near Spread Creek on the evening of the 27th of August. That's 2 points now, guys, I'm not, just bear with me. A man who saw Petito and Laundrie fighting in Moab, Utah on the 12th of August called 911 to report a domestic violence incident, according to a recording of the phone call obtained from the Grand County Sheriff's Office. The man said he saw Laundrie slap Petito while walking through the town and proceeded to hit her before the two got in their van and drove off. Video released by the Moab police showed that an officer pulled the couple's van over on the same day after it was speeding and hitting a curb near Arches National Park. The body camera footage showed Petito crying. So that's the full explanation, and I had to read that for people to understand, so sorry about that if that was a bit long, but there you go.
Come on.
Right, let's us get to today's new dilemma from the Sun newspaper, which an anonymous source says that she can't trust her online lover. She is 19 and he's 24, and they met on a dating site 2 years ago, but he still talked to other girls and said he wanted to meet up with them. He promises he isn't doing any of that anymore, but she's not sure. The problem is that she lives in England and he lives in Wales. So they only phone and message each other. Nonetheless, we are the Loose Mandem, and here are our reactions.
Josh, what do you think? Do you think that he's still doing it?
Right, so, right, one thing to start off with. By the way that she's worded it, right, it doesn't seem like they are in a long distance relationship. Or if they are, it's evident that he does not feel as attached as she does, right? And since they met online, like on Tinder or whatever, it almost feels like it might just be a bit of flirting, that she has got very connected to him and he didn't feel the same way as much and has met her with other women. Therefore, I feel like one, yeah, he's done it in the past. I feel like he is doing it, right? Even if he said he's not. Right? Although at the same time, I have no reason to not believe him. So yeah. Right. But I feel like he will continue. Also, right? Is it really a relationship? If it almost seems like they're never going to meet up. So just personally, they should both like stop. Take a step back, look at it, and then probably go to separate ways.
Okay, well, come on.
Move on with their lives.
Would you, what like advice would you give to her then?
So they're going in England?
Yes.
I would just say, listen, if you love him, you should go to Wales, or he should come to you. If he's not willing to come to England, or if she's not willing to go to Wales, or if they're not even willing to go halfway in the middle, I think just cut it off. Because if you're having if you're threatening him, he was dating other girls on other sites, you obviously care about him because you obviously don't want him to, so she needs to fix up. Go down to Wales, or plan a little meet, or cut or end it.
Okay.
Because, yeah, and that's my advice, simple.
Well, Terrell, now, because technically long distance relationships, like, surprisingly, some do well, surprisingly, but would you consider a long distance relationship?
You know what? No, they don't do well. You just don't know that they're the person doing so. You just don't know. Like, I know a lot of people have a lot of long distance, and in their head, on one side, it's going fantastic. I know all the 10 other people that so-and-so is cheating. I mean, and the thing is, you understand in this situation. This is why I say to like guys and girls, get with someone around your age with similar life goals and similar things, because you understand. I know, like we're all over 18 and thing, and we think we're older, we think we're grown, but bro, 18, 19, even 20 is still a kid. Like this guy's 24, this guy's a big man. Do you know what I mean? She's 19, and you met on a date, and I don't know why you think this is serious, and the fact that you might think that a 24-year-old man, that, okay, let's put it in perspective here. If this man is not a weirdo, not a creep, and is just a normal guy, chances are he's going to get some attention from girls.
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
In his lifetime. And he's a grown man, so they'll be doing grown things, right?
So if he is not those things, then what makes you think that he's not gonna enjoy real life contact with other women, like in real life, over you, who's not going to make the trip to Wales? You know what I mean? On Tinder.
If he wants a real thing, if he wants real sex, or rather than masturbating himself, he will just go on a dating site, Tinder, hook up with some girl, or go to some bar, have a one night stand with someone. Who's waiting for the girl in England? Obviously, you care about her, but if you want the real thing, you'll go get it.
There's no actual evidence to support that he actually cares about her. That's the thing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, in general, this is what I was also on about. Like the immaturity of some people our age. You think, yeah, man, I'm so mature and I can handle this. Like, bro, you're not. Like, you need to use your brain. Like, this man is in a different place to you. You're neither of you making a trip. A grown man. I promise you, this. Like I said, unless this guy doesn't have the capability to get any affection of women, which then this would be his only chance. Maybe it is. But if he's just a regular guy, like, what do you expect him to do? Like, especially like, you know, a guy that has sex, right? It's not the same as bashing.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
The urges change. If you're getting tempted, and no one is actually around, like, you know, cheaters, nobody's around you to check you.
It's gonna definitely have a lot more liberty to do what he wants typically, you know, because there's nobody really to really monitor him or.
Because the journey from England to Wales. Oh, go wow! So you could have sex. You could have sex a couple of times before, you know, the England girl decides to come over. So yeah.
Do you know, it's definitely a thing of like, well, it's where, as a young person, you know, who hasn't really been in that kind of relationship or really been with someone, you have like a very fantasized, kind of romanticized view on relationships that we don't necessarily know.
It's not true.
You know what I mean? So it's like, even when, let's say, you know, we were to get into a relationship and there's no real trust there, you're not necessarily going to do well in that relationship because you're going to have a lot of trust issues.
Yeah.
Let's say you do break up, you'll carry that on to the next person.
That's like communication is key.
Like, would you do a long distance relationship? I'm not even talking about that distance. I'm talking about within England. Let's say the girl is from Birmingham. I'm not gonna say our location. I'm not forgetting before.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? From where we are now, and the girl is from Birmingham or London. Are you doing a long distance relationship?
Personally,
and there's barely any distance.
No. I
say 3 drives.
It
depends because she, in that dilemma, Solomon says, none of them have said they will travel in there, didn't they?
I'm saying,
what if you and her are willing to travel, but she lives in London? Would you still have that relationship?
In a sense, a lot of partners says yes, but even then it wouldn't matter because even if I'm up here and she's down there, you know, whilst we're in our different locations, she can do whatever she wants, and then we can still
know,
right? Exactly, you know what I mean?
And this is what your hours, like, what you have to do now. You got university, you got to work. Do you really have time to?
No, time for that. You know what I mean?
To drive 4 hours.
So
to stay for a day.
I understand what you're saying, right? But yeah, obviously in a relationship you've got to have trust, right? But and I feel like personally, at least, you know what you said about a girl in London. If I was dating a girl in London, I feel like I would only do that and put myself through that if one, I'd like met her for a significant time beforehand. Like these two have never actually met. Whereas if I had a girlfriend who was my girlfriend for a year, let's say we got together, girlfriend for a year, but she happened to move to a uni in London and I'm at uni wherever, like at Lancaster or something, yeah? Right. Then yes, I'm gonna go through that. Right. Yeah. Whereas with these two, it's not even like that. It's like, one, I think it's quite naive of her to think that she's met a man on a dating app and for him to not be talking to other people, since that is literally what you do on a dating app. You talk to loads of people, right? So I think she's quite naive in that respect. But also, like, it's kind of like, obviously, if he's found someone that's his age, who's attractive on a dating app, he's going to want to go with the one his age or like, rather than the 19-year-old.
And I also want to ask, so it's good. You got to think about it. Like you said about, going for someone your age. Realistically, like I said, if this guy's not a weirdo, creep or something, what does a 19-year-old girl have to offer to a grown man's life?
Well,
that a 24-year-old could offer more. Think about it. That's like a youth trying to come to us and say,
because if that's her first ever boyfriend, she is, how can I say on this? She's basically nice and tucked in nice. Yeah, if he picked up a boy off a date and she's got more experience than him, obviously she's the woman is going to be more experienced, and obviously she's going to be a bit, experience. So do you think that's why he wants to go see her, because she's nice and tucked in and nice?
No, I'm not even saying about like the sex side of it. I'm saying about as in life partners. Like she's looking at that relationship.
Right, yeah.
What does, like, for him to travel that far, drop everything's been, what does a 19-year-old girl really, on average, think about it as average people, have to offer to a grown man's life?
Yeah, but like that's what Terrell said. If he's not a weirdo, I mean, like young thing. Yeah, man.
If you're not weird, like think about it, like if an older girl, 26-year-old girl, who's now we're over 18, so we're 18 or over.
Yeah.
So we're classed as adults, so you can do what you want now. Realistically, a grown woman who's not like what this and that, who's grown woman has got something going for her. What can we as 18-year-old kids actually bring to her life that she would want instead of a grown man?
Yeah, that is very true.
Yeah,
I think she'd sacrifice a grown man that can actually bring stuff on the table for a young youth like us.
Josh, on the point?
In terms of like Kamar's points, right? I feel like Kamar's coming at it from they are dating, but from how it sounds, it's more. Let's be realistic. They're basically pen pals.
That's what I'm saying.
They are glorified pen pals.
He's not sacrificing it for online dating.
They're not even dating. It's like me, I message my mate who lives in Leeds. Do I go and meet him sometimes? But it's more just messaging. Like, yes, they're still my mate. Like, nothing more. I barely see. They're not my best mate. No, I barely see them. It's like they're not. They're just. Oh, just break it off.
You need to use your brain in this situation, honestly. And just think about it from like not from a. I feel like people,
think about it in the long term.
Think about situations from like what they want. Like she probably thinks since they're like, I want it to be like this, but I want it to work out. I hope it's not doing. Think about it from a realistic situation. You're far away. You've got a big age gap difference. You're doing your own things, and there's other people out there. And you haven't met. You met online. Is it really that serious? Come on. Maybe it is, and then you got a question. If it is that serious,
why are you both not wanting to be?
I get that, but just for a last thing, then it's as if she's, because at this point she's restricting her own life and her own goals just for someone who's typically not bothered about her now, and when that happens, she'll become one of those people, not saying she will, but if she hypothetically could become one of those people that will be very clingy and have a lot of trust issues, which isn't healthy. So if she continues down this path, I hope she doesn't, but if she does, she has to realise that there's nothing wrong with independence, and there's nothing wrong with realising that, alright, not every guy who's older than you, or every guy in general, is going to be a nice guy. Like, people will, exactly. So definitely think about it. Again, you're 19, you're not in a rush, you've got a whole life ahead of you. It's very cheesy and very, but even then, very corny, but even then, you've still got a long time ahead, and God willing, So just keep pursuing what you're pursuing. If you meet someone down the road who is definitely good for you, and I hope you actually see them as a good person, then they're for you and helps and benefits you in a good way, then move forward in that way. But guys, thank you for your points.
As it's a feel-good Friday, It is soon the weekend. This next thing should be fun and easy from today's discussion. So, it is the time to play Loose Mandem does Guess the Celebrity. In this game, it's quite simple. I will give clues to the panelists and they must guess who the celebrity is in their head. The first panelist to put their hand up and guess both the celebs' first and last name correctly receive 1 point. If they only guess half of the celebrity's name, they will receive half a point. If a person puts their hands up first but struggles to remember both names, another panelist can steal it if they know the answer.
Right, guys, are we ready?
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Great. Right. So, first celebrity. Okay? First person, right, is a British professional boxer. Oh, drop. Great. Start. Right. This next person used to be a co-anchor for GMB. Oh, come on.
Piers Morgan.
Correct.
Oh, wow.
1-1. Right. Next person now. Now, this artist has a perfume line. Oh, it's a draw. Oh, rock, paper, scissors for it. I want to see rock, paper, scissors for it since both of you put it at the same time.
1 round?
Yep.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
So, rock,
Paper, scissors, shoot.
right. Draw.
Perfume line.
Mm-hmm.
This is, Future.
Nope.
No, what is the future?
Nope.
I got 2 in mind.
Oh, let's go to Kamala.
So I got the first one. Rihanna?
Correct. That's 2.
Ooh. That was
Why do you think I chose Rihanna?
I'm about to say Lady Gaga, you know.
There you go.
I don't know why I said future, because I was thinking Rihanna or Kylie Jenner. I don't know why I said future.
It's minus. Right, next person. This actor was in the movie Social Network. Nope. Okay.
Oh,
This actor also recently says, I swear to you, I'm not the wolf. I'm not the werewolf. I promise you, I'm not the wolf. Concerning a specific movie coming out this year.
pretty shit for him.
What's his name?
This person was also a Spider-Man. Draw.
Alright, you can only be 1 of 3 in it, and I know it's 1 of 2 because I know it's not there.
It's taking too long. Come on.
Andrew Garfield?
Correct.
Yeah!
No,
Oh, we got the draw.
Right,
That's a draw. We got the draw.
No. He found it though. If he continued to struggle, yeah.
We are on the draw.
Right, this next artist starred alongside Bradley Cooper in the film A Star Is Born. Oh, drop.
Artist. Oh my fuck. Starred. It's a girl. She's called.
10, 9,
Calm down.
8, 7, 6.
I know who it is. I know who it is, man. I
5,
know who it is.
4, come on, 3, come on, 2, come on, 1.
Yes, man.
Nope. Is anybody else got any ideas, any clues?
No.
Alright, I'll give a clue to everybody here then, right?
Well, you got to.
Well, yeah, you said, well, someone has said that
Zendaya.
artist- No. Get her out of your mind, man, shoot.
Yeah.
You said the name before.
Gaga.
Correct.
Oh, well done,
Yes,
Josh.
yes,
I can be that.
That's a point. Yeah, right. This next artist, American artist, has had their song blown up since TikTok with the song called Savage. So? Correct.
Oh, he's winning.
No, that's
Right,
not.
right.
That's the last one.
Here he is.
Yes, actually, you know what? This will
Is
be the
that
last one.
what? 3, 2, 1.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Right.
It's a good draw.
Now.
Go.
No. This next one. An actor. But used to be a rapper. Over?
It's a 1 of 2. It's a 1 of 2. Now I'm
Who are
looking
you
at.
going for?
Would you go that simple?
I think.
Will Smith.
No! No, like, serious. Will Smith?
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
I was thinking Ice Cube, but I was like, nah, it's definitely.
I was thinking so we'll go back to
Anyway, guys, that's your Feel Good Friday.
I'm a bad.
Yeah, so I hope everybody on this panel.
I'll just take second place.
No congratulations.
At my first
No
group.
congratulations.
Yeah, but-
No, but no, honestly.
I'm sorry.
Sure.
I'm ashamed at my first.
Yeah,
I couldn't
I like
take
first
the
place.
Will I only know Ice Cube.
Anyway.
Well, guys, that is it for today's show, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as we did. I want to give a thank you to Kamar, Terrell, and to Josh for joining me and sharing their views bravely on today's episode. Do not forget to like, share, comment, set your alerts and notifications on for any of our posts and videos relating to the show we upload online. And we would love for you, your friends, your family, etc., to give us a follow or subscribe on our personal social media handles, which you have seen at the start of the show, and also Loose Mandem social media handles, which are on your screen right now. I will be in the hot seat on Monday, so make sure you catch up with that episode. I'm watching you. And finally, remember to tell all the mandem and gal dem about Loose Mandem. Take care. Bye-bye.